Hello students, welcome for today's session. In today's session, we are going to study about the XML document structure. So the first thing that comes to our mind about structure is how is XML going to arrange its document. So an XML document usually uses two auxiliary files. One that is going to specify its tag set and structural syntactic rules, and another file that is going to contain a style sheet to describe how the content of the document is to be printed or displayed. The structural syntactic rules are given as either a document type definition or an XML schema. An XML document consists of one or more entities that are logically related collections of information ranging in size from a single character to maybe a book chapter. One of these entities is called as the document entity. It is physically in the file that represents the document. The document entity can be the entire document, but in many cases it includes references to the names of entities that are stored elsewhere. For example, the document entity for a technical article might contain the beginning material and ending material, but have references to the article body sections, which are entities stored in separate files. Every entity except the document entity must have a name. There are several reasons to break a document into multiple entities. It is good to define a large document as a number of smaller parts to make it more manageable. Also, if the same data appears in more than one place in the document, defining it as an entity is going to allow any number of references to a single copy of the data. This is going to avoid the problem of inconsistency among the occurrences. Finally, many documents include information that cannot be represented as text, such as images. So, such information units are usually stored as binary data. If a binary data unit is logically part of a document, then it must be a separate entity because XML documents cannot include binary data. Such entities are called as binary entities. When an XML processor encounters the name of a non-binary entity in a document, then it is going to replace the name with the value it references. Binary entities can be handled only by applications that deal with the document, such as browsers. XML processors deal only with text. How are entities going to be defined? Entity names can be any length. They must begin with a letter or a dash or a colon. After the first character, a name can have letters, digits, periods, dashes, underscores, or colons. A reference to an entity is its name with a prepended or ampersand and an appended semicolon. You can see in the example, if apple underscore image is the name of an entity, then you can find that there is an ampersand apple underscore image that is going to be a reference to it. One of the most common uses of entities is to allow characters that are normally used as markup delimiters to appear as themselves in a document, because this is a common need. XML includes the entities that are predefined for XHTML. The most common are shown. When several predefined entities must appear near each other in an XML document, then their references clutter the content and make it difficult to read. In such cases, a character data section can be used. The content of a character data section is not parsed by the XML parser, so it cannot include any tags. This promise of no tags makes it possible to include special markup delimiter characters directly in the section without using their entity references. So this is a brief description about the structure of XML. Coming to the next part is tags. So what do we mean by tag? Tags are used to mark up elements. A starting tag looks like element underscore name, mark up the beginning of an element, and an ending tag element underscore the closing will mark up the end of an element. The examples are given over here. Body element, and then we find the body text is placed in between. Second example, a message element, there is some message in between. So this is about tags. The next most important part is attributes. Attributes are going to provide extra information about elements. Attributes are placed inside the start tag of an element. They come in name value pairs. The following image element has an additional information about the source file. You can see in the slide we have written image source is equal to, this is the source of the image. So source is an attribute. Name of the element is image. The value of the attribute is computer.gif. So this is about attributes. Coming to the next part is the PC data and C data. PC data means past character data. Think of character data as the text which is found between the start tag and the end tag of an XML element. PC data is text that will be passed by a parser. Tags inside the text will be treated as markup and entities will be expanded. The character data is text that is not going to be passed by a parser. Tags inside the text will not be treated as markup and entities will not be expanded. So, in the next session, we will study in detail about the tags. Thank you, students.